illustration that I started a while back, and I need to finish it, but I feel stuck. Like I don't know what else to do with it. And then another part of me is like, oh, it's gonna be so hard to continue filling the shelves, when in reality it's like it's not that big of a deal, and I just am overthinking it, and I realize that, and I know that, and it's like whatever I add to it doesn't have to be permanent. Like that's the beauty of digital art, is you can just take it out if you don't like it, especially when you're working in layers. But I'm gonna look up some inspiration because my brain said no, no, no. I put all of these like really cute stickers on my water bottle, and the thing is, it's like, I don't necessarily know if my stickers are waterproof. I sell them and tell people like they're not waterproof, they're more water resistant. But I kind of just wanted to test it myself and kind of run an experiment and see if, you know, maybe I can hand wash it. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes. So update on the water bottle. I did wash it by hand, and it's honestly not that bad. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of bleeding from the ink. The water got in. This was like perfectly unharmed. This was honestly unharmed also, which is really nice. This sticker held up so well. This one did okay. There's no like ink bleed or anything like that. It's just, it started lifting a little. I've noticed that with the holographic finish, it really does make the stickers waterproof. But with my regular laminate, like the regular clear gloss laminate, it causes some seepage. You can probably see it right there. But other than that, I'm not too upset. I think I just want to check out, I think next thing I just want to do is find out what sticker paper is waterproof. So meaning like it won't lift like this when exposed to water. So we're figuring that out. I've kind of figured out that the holographic definitely does really well. So I'm gonna have to find another sticker laminate that will really seal in the ink. But nothing fell off. This one was not uncoated, so hence why she's peeling and the colors started fading. So obviously that's a no-go. But everything else I'm not really mad about. But yeah, this year I wanted to branch out from my style with my digital art. I like what I'm doing with my digital art, but it just feels, I don't know, it feels like there's something missing. I was originally a watercolor artist. It's always been my medium of choice. I have ventured out. I've tried oils, acrylics, gouache, markers, color pencils. However, I always tend to gravitate towards watercolor. And I wanted to make some pieces, like physical pieces, and do some painting, but I was running into like budget issues. So I realized that I didn't have the budget to buy new supplies. I wanted to buy new watercolor paper. I wanted to buy some new watercolor, just some supplies to get started, and it was just too expensive. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time to finally give a brush pack a chance. So this is my first time ever looking at brush packs, and I did get to favorite some items that I was looking at. So I saw this brush pack, which I love this style. It kind of gives me like a gouache, color pencil, watercolor vibe, which I think is really fun. And so I saw this and I was like, this is really cool. I like this texture. I like these textures. I like this pencil texture. Ooh. Thin lines. And this texture. Oh, I like this texture. So these are really fun textures to draw with. I wouldn't necessarily think about painting with any of these. And it looks like you can overlay texture onto the base color, which is really cool. So that's an option. This is another option I'm looking at. This has some watercolor brushes, which watercolor is something I've definitely wanted to dive back into. It's just my most comfortable medium. I like these. It's just, they look more like opaque digital paint versus watercolor. I guess this one kind of looks like watercolor. But I did like these. These brushes are actually or erasers are really cool. But I realized it came with some color palettes, which I think is so weird because you can easily get a color palette on, what's it called? Procreate. So I was a little confused. So that's an option. I saw this, which I really liked. I liked the quality of the brushes and I like what it produces. Like, this looks like real watercolor to me. Yeah, I did see this and I really liked this. I was like, okay, now we're talking. This is what I'm looking at. And then it comes with a couple of textures, which is really cool. And then I saw this, which looked really cool. I like the style of this artwork. I hope to get to be that good someday. But I did see like the brushes, which looked really cool. I like these. Well, those are liners. Interesting. But yeah, like the effect that they were able to come up with, like that's so cool. To do that digitally, like, my mind is blown. That's so cool. And it's only $7. That's insane. Okay. The way they are making me want to buy everything. Okay. Again, this is really cool. I'm not in love with this paper texture. It looks a little, I don't want to say like fake, but like a little too much. But I love this, like these watercolor brushes. The texture that it creates, like that looks like real watercolor to me. Which is really cool. Yeah, like that looks so good. That does too. All of it does. Like it. Ooh. It's like so like, I don't want to say crisp, but it's like nice and soft and fuzzy. All of the texture that I love. So I could definitely see myself using this. This is crazy because it's only $5. Ugh. Okay. And then we have some fine liners, which is great because I am like a micron stan. It's like all I ever used whenever I did watercolor. We have a demo here. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, and it looks like they have a brush that does this. So yeah, you get some patterns, which is kind of crazy. Oh, and then this is what I saw. I saw these paper textures, which I was like, oh, these look so good. I think that would be cool. And it's a great deal because you're getting the liners and the paper textures. And then I saw this. I don't necessarily draw in this type of style, but I do like the brushes. And so I thought these looked cool. I do like this effect. That's definitely still like artsy, painterly vibes. Yeah, and I like the way that it blends because it gives that like painterly vibe. But this was another option, which is really cute. But yeah, so cool to me because I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on color pencils. And I've been wanting some color pencils. And I thought this looked cool. I love like the colored pencil artwork that a lot of people make. It's just, it looks so fun and vibrant. And I think I need that, and it still looks really artistic, like this right here. You're telling me this was made on Procreate? That's so cool. Yeah, that's badass. But yeah. So yeah, I got my hand on a set of brushes, which I'm super excited about, and I kind of just wanted to, show how cool these brushes really are and how excited I am. Because look at me hiccuping. There's so much that I absolutely love about watercolor on paper, like in its physical form. Something about Procreate and having all of these tools in your hands so conveniently is just so cool. So like having all of these different textures, that's insane. We have our main watercolor brush here, and then filler watercolor brush. Ooh, I like her. And then rough edges. Then we have rough watercolor. More wet watercolor brush. Which is crazy because I haven't even been able to use all these. Super wet. Oh yeah, that's super wet. No color to it. Yeah, you have that one. Or shadow. So just a super, super light wash. And then, yeah, so we have all of these really cool textures, which is just so exciting. So yeah, I've been playing around with these. What I freaking love about it is that you don't have to wait for the freaking layers to dry. So I'm noticing with this one, it doesn't get darker with each layer that you add on. This is like the deepest level, but I love that because it gives you conformity, or it kind of gives you, what's it called? Consistency, which is really cool. Which I think is really useful. I've been using this brush a lot, and you can layer these. And it's so nice because you don't have to wait for each layer to dry. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I wasn't able to ever finish like watercolor pieces, because I would have to wait like 30 minutes in between each layer, which is just insane. And it takes hours upon hours, days to finish a piece. And it's funny because like now that I have this brush set, like it'll still take me hours to finish the piece, but if I did it in its physical form, it would take me like 3 times as long. Not only because I have to wait, but I have to like mix the colors, and it's just so nice to have my hands on these. And then you can go down to their blend brushes, which I didn't realize like when you downloaded a brush set that they categorized it like this, like the main brushes and stuff. I think that's so cool. We have our blend brushes. I'm using this thing like crazy. Yeah, you can increase, decrease opacity. Like, how cool is that? That's insane. That's so exciting. So yeah, really excited about these brushes. Increase it and probably blend this out. You know, it's so crazy because these create such a realistic watercolor. Because sometimes with watercolor you can have staining, and when you try to blend it out, it's actually really hard because it's literally stained to the paper and the pigment won't pick up, and so you'll kind of get this effect when you're trying to blend it out, and you'll kind of see like the shadow of the pigment. So this feels so realistic to me as somebody that's like a huge fan and loves watercolor. That's so cool. So yeah, that's just a sample of those brushes. I want to show you what I've been able to do. Yeah, like this is with the watercolor brushes. Really cool. And then this was also created with the watercolor brushes. Like, that's crazy. That's so cool. I couldn't do that with just like the standard brushes. So this is really exciting. I was also able to create this pattern, which is really fun. I used the watercolor brushes, and then I also downloaded these fine liner brushes, which are really cool. Those give a lot of fun textures, but I was able to quickly, well, I say quickly, but I was able to come up with this pattern. Just so cute. So then we have this illustration right here where I was able to go in and create some like watercolor stuff. It's been so much fun. Like, I can't even begin to describe how nice it is to have this brush set. Like, I just feel like I'm at home, I'm in my element. I don't feel like I'm going against what I'm like a natural at, so it's been really nice to get my hands on these brushes. And then I kind of just decided to do some like freehand drawing and come up with this, which is really cool. Like, this was so much fun to create with these watercolor brushes. And I can just have an infinite amount of layers. I mean, that's not true, but like, how fun.